Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Real love changes a man in ways you can't fake or force. When a man truly loves a woman, the whole game changes, especially when it comes to what happens behind closed doors. It ain't about just physical satisfaction or routine. It's about connection, respect, and giving your all because your heart is in it. Look, a lot of folks think when it comes to what happens in the bedroom, it's all about physical stuff. How fast, how hard, how often, but let me tell you straight up, that's just surface level. What really makes a man give his best, what makes him want to go all in, is something deeper than skin and muscle. It's about the emotional connection, the invisible thread that ties two people's hearts and souls together. Now, why is emotional connection so important? Because men, like women, are human beings with feelings and needs beyond the physical. When a man feels emotionally connected to a woman, when he truly loves her, everything changes. That physical act in bed turns into something sacred, something more fulfilling, something that goes beyond pleasure and moves into the realm of love and care. Think about it like this. Sex without emotional connection is like eating food without taste. It might fill you up, but it leaves you empty inside. When there's no real feeling behind the action, no sense that the man truly values his partner beyond the physical moment, it becomes mechanical, impersonal, and sometimes even frustrating. It's like going through the motions without heart. But when emotional connection is there, everything is seasoned with love, attention, and meaning. Emotional connection makes a man want to pay attention to his partner's body language, to her breathing, to the way her eyes light up or soften. It makes him want to listen, really listen, not just to her words, but to the feelings behind those words. When a man feels connected, he's not rushing to get to the finish line or thinking about himself first. Instead, he's fully present, focused on making his woman feel cherished and desired. You see, men are wired to protect and provide, but that doesn't mean they don't crave love and intimacy in ways deeper than just physical. Real love stirs something inside a man's heart that no one else can touch. It awakens a desire to be close, not just with his body, but with his soul. That emotional connection makes him vulnerable. And trust me, vulnerability is a big deal for men. Sometimes the hardest thing they have to do. But when a man loves you truly, that vulnerability isn't scary, it's free. It's important to understand that emotional connection doesn't just magically appear, it's built over time. It comes from shared experiences, from honest conversations, from trust earned and respect given. When a man knows he can be himself around you without judgment, when he feels safe enough to share his fears and dreams, that bond deepens. And the deeper the bond, the more intense the intimacy. Sometimes people say, but what about chemistry? What about attraction? Of course, attraction matters. But chemistry without connection is like a fire that burns hot and fast, but leaves nothing behind. Emotional connection is the fuel that keeps that fire going. It's what makes a man want to come back again and again, not just for the physical rush, but for the feeling of being truly seen and loved. When a man is emotionally connected, he experiences intimacy on a whole other level. He's not just reacting to the moment, he's engaging with it. He's thinking about how to make his partner feel safe and loved, how to communicate without words, how to share a moment that's more than just physical, it's spiritual. Let me tell you a little secret. Real love and emotional connection bring out the best in a man. They make him want to be patient, to slow down, to explore and discover what makes his woman feel good. It's not about performance or ego. It's about giving because it feels good to give. It's about the joy in seeing his partner happy, in knowing he's making a difference in her life with every touch and every kiss. Emotional connection also brings honesty and authenticity to the bedroom. When a man loves you deeply, he feels comfortable enough to express himself fully, his desires, his insecurities, even his doubts. And that openness allows the relationship to grow stronger. It breaks down walls and builds bridges. Without that connection, many men hide behind masks or act out of fear or pride. But real love melts those masks away. You might wonder how you can tell if a man is really emotionally connected. Look beyond the physical. Notice if he asks how you feel, not just physically, but emotionally. See if he remembers the little things you say, the things that matter to you. Watch how he treats you not only when things are good, but when you're vulnerable or upset. Emotional connection shows up in those moments. It's in the way he holds your hand, the way he comforts you, the way he wants to know what makes you happy. And don't forget, emotional connection is a two-way street. It's not just about what the man brings to the table, it's about what you both build together. When you open your heart and allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite him to do the same. When you communicate honestly and show that you care about his feelings, it strengthens that bond. That connection then becomes the foundation for everything else in your relationship, especially what happens in bed. So next time you're wondering why a man might act a certain way or why intimacy feels a little off, think about the emotional connection. Is it there? Are you both showing up with your hearts or just your bodies? Because only when a man feels that real love, when he feels emotionally connected, will he be willing to do the things in bed that go beyond the physical. Things that show how much he truly cares and loves you. At the end of the day, it's not about the moves or the techniques. It's about the love behind them. And only real love, built on emotional connection, will make a man do that. When it comes to real love, one thing you got to understand is that it opens a man up like nothing else can. I'm talking about vulnerability. Now, vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the exact opposite. It takes courage to be vulnerable. It means a man is willing to show his true self, his fears, his hopes, and his imperfections without hiding behind some tough exterior. And let me tell you, only real love will make a man put down that armor and let you see who he really is. Most men are raised to believe they got to be strong, stoic, and in control all the time. Society tells them to hold it together, don't cry, don't show too much emotion. So many times men get trapped in this box where being vulnerable feels like giving up power. But when a man finds real love, that changes everything. Real love gives him a safe place to be vulnerable without fear of judgment or rejection. When a man feels respected and loved for who he truly is, not just for what he does or how he looks, that respect allows him to open up. In the bedroom, that vulnerability creates an intimacy that goes beyond the physical. It's like opening a window to his soul. He lets go of his ego and pride, and he's able to connect with his partner on a level that's honest and raw. That's when real magic happens. Respect is a huge part of this whole thing. If a man doesn't feel respected by the woman he loves, it's going to be hard for him to open up. Respect means honoring his feelings, his boundaries, and his needs. It means listening to him without judgment and treating him like an equal partner. When respect is there, a man feels safe enough to drop the act and just be himself. Now, when you mix vulnerability with respect, you get a powerful combination. A man who's vulnerable and respected is more likely to show tenderness and care in bed. He's not just thinking about himself or trying to prove something. He's thinking about how to make the experience meaningful and comfortable for both of you. That's the kind of love that turns sex into an act of deep connection and trust. Sometimes a man's vulnerability shows up as uncertainty or hesitation. Maybe he's afraid he won't measure up or that he'll disappoint. When a woman responds with respect, when she reassures him, encourages him, and shows patience, it helps him relax and be more present. That's real love working right there. It's like saying, I see you, I accept you, and I'm here with you. That acceptance frees him to express himself fully, and that's when intimacy flourishes. On the flip side, if a man feels disrespected or criticized, he's going to shut down. He might act out, withdraw, or put up walls. Without respect, vulnerability becomes dangerous and intimacy suffers. So, respect isn't just a nice idea, it's a necessity if you want a man to open up and share himself with you. Here's something else. Vulnerability and respect build trust. And trust is the foundation for everything in a relationship, especially in bed. When a man trusts you, he's not worried about being judged or misunderstood. He can let go of his defenses and be real with you. That trust allows both partners to explore each other's needs and desires without fear. It creates a safe space where love and pleasure can grow together. Real love means accepting the messy, imperfect parts of a man, not just the strong, confident side. It means seeing his struggles and still choosing to love him fully. When a man knows you respect him even in his weakest moments, it strengthens his bond with you and makes him want to give back that love tenfold. I want you to think about this. When a man feels safe enough to be vulnerable and respected, he feels like he belongs. He feels like he's home. And that sense of belonging, that's what real love is all about. It's what makes a man want to come back, not just to the bedroom, but to the relationship over and over again. That's why you'll notice in relationships where real love is present, the intimacy is different. The man is more attentive, more gentle, more willing to take his time. He's not rushing to prove something or just get it done. He's fully engaged because he feels respected and free to be vulnerable with the woman he loves. So if you want a man to do certain things in bed, things that show he cares deeply, start by creating an environment of respect and acceptance. Let him know it's okay to be himself, flaws and all. Show him that you value his feelings and that you're not there to judge, but to love. When you do that, you unlock a kind of intimacy that no amount of tricks or moves can create. Remember, real love isn't just about passion or chemistry. It's about respect and vulnerability coming together to build a bond so strong, it changes the way a man loves, lives, and connects with you, especially in the most intimate moments. When we talk about love, especially real love, one thing that stands out is selflessness. Now, I don't mean just doing a favor here and there or occasionally putting someone else first. I'm talking about a deep kind of selflessness that changes the whole way a man approaches intimacy. Real love makes a man stop thinking about himself first, especially in bed, and start focusing on his partner's pleasure, comfort, and happiness. See, a lot of times people get caught up in what they want, what they need, how they feel. That's natural. But when a man truly loves a woman, that mindset shifts. He starts seeing the act of intimacy not just as something to satisfy himself, but as a way to show love, respect, and care. That kind of selflessness isn't easy. It takes maturity, patience, and a genuine desire to make the woman feel special and cherished. Selflessness in intimacy means listening. It means paying attention to what she says and doesn't say. Sometimes it's in the words she speaks, and sometimes it's in the silence. The subtle cues, the way her body moves or reacts. A man who loves you will tune into those signals and adjust himself to meet your needs. Even if that means slowing down, trying something new, or going the extra mile to make sure you're comfortable and happy. It's not about ticking boxes or trying to perform. It's about making the experience about both of you, not just one person's pleasure or ego. When a man is selfless in bed, he's thinking about how to create a shared experience, a moment where both partners feel valued and connected. That kind of giving and receiving makes intimacy richer and more meaningful. Here's the thing. Selflessness also means patience. Sometimes a woman needs time to relax, to feel safe, to open up emotionally before she can fully enjoy intimacy. A man who loves her won't rush it or get frustrated. He'll be patient, understanding that real love means being there for her, not just for his own satisfaction. He'll take the time to build that connection, to create an environment where she feels cared for and respected. Another part of selflessness is humility. A man who loves you is willing to put his pride aside. He doesn't see intimacy as a competition or a performance to prove how manly he is. Instead, he's focused on the joy of giving and sharing with you. He's open to learning what you like, what makes you feel good, and he's willing to adjust his approach without ego getting in the way. That humility also means a willingness to be vulnerable, to admit if he doesn't know something or if he makes a mistake. Real love gives him the freedom to be imperfect because he knows you love him for who he is, not just what he can do. That creates a space where intimacy becomes a journey you take together, not a test he has to pass. When a man is selfless in intimacy, he is also generous, not just with his time or effort, but with his attention and affection. He wants to make sure you feel loved before, during, and after. It's the little things that add up. The way he holds you, the way he kisses you, the way he checks in to make sure you're comfortable. Those actions say, you matter to me. So it's important to understand that selflessness doesn't mean losing yourself or ignoring your own needs. It's about balance. A healthy relationship is one where both partners feel cared for and satisfied. But the willingness to put the other person first, especially in moments of intimacy, is a powerful sign of real love. Selflessness in intimacy also builds trust and deepens connection. When a woman sees that a man is genuinely interested in her pleasure and comfort, she feels safe to let go and be herself. That safety and trust open the door to more vulnerability and emotional closeness. And when you're both vulnerable and connected, the physical experience becomes so much richer and more fulfilling. Think about it like this. When a man approaches intimacy with a selfish mindset, it's like a one-way street. It might be good for him, but it leaves the woman feeling used or disconnected. But when he's selfless, it turns into a two-way street, a shared journey where both partners get to enjoy the ride. That's what makes love real. That's what makes it last. So if you want a man to do certain things in bed, things that show he really loves and respects you, look for signs of selflessness. Notice if he listens to you, if he's patient, if he's willing to put his pride aside for your comfort and happiness. Those are the actions that speak louder than words. And those actions come from a place of real love. At the end of the day, selflessness and intimacy isn't just about sex. It's a reflection of how a man loves you every day and how he treats you, how he thinks about you, how he puts your needs alongside his own. It's the kind of love that makes a man want to be better, to do better, and to love deeper. And that kind of love, that kind of selflessness will always show up in bed. When people talk about love and intimacy, sometimes they get caught up in the big moments, the fireworks, the passion, the excitement. But let me tell you something real. Real love isn't about a one-time show or some grand gesture. It's about consistency. It's about what a man does day after day, especially in the bedroom, that proves his love is genuine. Only real love will make a man keep showing up, keep caring, and keep giving over time. Consistency is the quiet, steady heartbeat of love. It's easy to be loving and attentive when everything's new and exciting, when you're caught up in the honeymoon phase. But what happens when life gets messy? When stress, work, kids, and all those other distractions try to steal your time and energy? That's when you see who really cares. A man who loves you for real doesn't check out just because the thrill dies down. He stays present, he stays engaged, and he stays willing to connect. In the bedroom, consistency means more than just showing up physically. It means being emotionally available, attentive, and willing to meet you where you are every time. It means making intimacy a priority even when life feels hectic or when things don't go perfectly. That consistency builds trust and deepens your connection because it shows you that you matter to him, not just when it's convenient or easy, but always. Think about it like this. When a man is consistent in his love and attention, he's sending a message every day that you're important, that you're worth the effort, the time, and the care. That's powerful. It builds a foundation of security and confidence in the relationship. You don't have to guess if he loves you or if he's committed. You can feel it in the way he treats you again and again. Sometimes people mistake consistency for routine or boredom, but that's not the same thing. Consistency doesn't mean doing the exact same thing every time with no passion or creativity. It means showing up with the same intention and care, with the same respect and love no matter what. It means finding new ways to keep the connection alive, even after years together. A man who loves you consistently isn't just thinking about the physical act. He's thinking about the emotional bond and the trust that keeps growing between you. He remembers the little things that make you feel loved. Whether it's a gentle touch, a kind word, or simply making time to be close, those small moments add up and create a powerful sense of intimacy. Consistency also means patience over time. Real love understands that not every moment will be perfect. There will be ups and downs, distractions and challenges. But a man who loves you will keep showing up, even when it's hard. He won't give up just because things get complicated or because life isn't always exciting. He'll stick it out because the love he feels is real. And here's something important. Consistency builds emotional safety. When you know a man is consistently there for you, it's easier to let your guard down. You feel safe to express your needs, your fears, your desires, because you trust he won't walk away or change his mind suddenly. That safety is the foundation for real intimacy, the kind that goes beyond just physical connection. A man who loves you consistently will also show respect for your time and boundaries. He won't pressure you or try to rush things. Instead, he'll be patient and understanding, knowing that real intimacy takes time and effort from both partners. That respect shows up in his actions day after day, and it speaks louder than words. Sometimes women ask, how do I know if he really loves me? The answer is in consistency. Look for the patterns over weeks, months, and years. Notice if he keeps putting in effort, keeps communicating, keeps caring about your needs and feelings. That's the kind of love that lasts because it's built on real commitment, not just feelings. Consistency also means being honest and open over time. A man who loves you won't hide behind excuses or disappear when things get tough. He'll communicate, he'll be willing to work through problems, and he'll stay connected even when it's uncomfortable. That kind of honesty strengthens your bond and makes intimacy deeper and more meaningful. It's important to remember that consistency is something you both build together. It's not just on the man to keep love alive. It takes both partners showing up day after day to nurture the relationship. When you both commit to being consistent in love and care, you create a partnership that can weather any storm. So when you think about what only real love will make a man do in bed, remember it's about more than just one moment. It's about showing up again and again with the same heart, the same care, and the same respect. It's about building a connection that stands the test of time. That's the kind of love that changes everything, not just in the bedroom, but in life.